So one of the things that causes a massive amount of anxiety and stress in the world is miscommunication. I've noticed this as a business owner, just dealing in the business world for the last 30 years. I've noticed it with friends, with family, just in everyday conversation with people that often, and it feels like at least 25% of the time, in any conversation of significance, probably even a greater percentage, there's some level of misunderstanding going on. And this came to mind the other day at Thanksgiving, with one of my family members, where we did maybe what you're not supposed to do. We talked a little bit of politics, but generally we're on the same side of most political conversations and political matters. But in that conversation, I used the phrase, border security or closing the borders, and that caused a reaction with this family member. And what I notice in society, and particularly during this last election, when people realize that there is a disagreement, when people notice that there is a disagreement with the person that they're talking to, do they actually take the time to figure out, well, do we really have a disagreement here, or is there just a misunderstanding? Is there a definitional issue? Is when I use a phrase, closing the border, does that mean what the person I'm talking to thinks it means? And in this situation, after we had the beginning part of that conversation, we spent probably an hour just going through the different aspects of this particular topic, making sure that what I was saying was getting what was being understood in the exact way that I meant it. And that's an important concept there of, as we're communicating with other people, is what we mean being fully understood? Does it require greater communication? I think in most situations, people are not able or willing to take the time to communicate to the degree or to the length that it takes to actually find out if there is actually a disagreement. And in most situations, I would say 90% of the time, when I think I'm actually disagreeing with somebody on a topic, when we spend an hour or two going through it. And I know that's a massive commitment, but often that's what it takes. And then 90% of the time, I find out that we actually don't have a disagreement. We just needed to understand each other better. So I wanted to raise this topic because if we extrapolate out this anxiety, this stress across the entire world, or even across the United States, the amount of angst and negative emotion and anxiety related to this topic alone is just astronomical. Millions and probably billions of hours of upset that could be avoided if people made the investment to actually make sure that they are understanding each other. So I'll stop there, but this is a topic that I could probably do 100 videos on, but just wanted to share that as it was something that just came up very recently with a family member. All right, thanks.